People are always talking about the stock market, always looking to invest in a good opportunity, something with the potential to grow. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock where you invest to make money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps students like me go to college, which ends up making the future better for everybody. I could be the first college graduate in my family, the first district attorney from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there will be a second and a third. This can really be the start of something. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
My Hometown is made possible by Herald Community Newspapers. For more local news, visit liherald.com. Got a story to tell? Call 516-569-4000.
WHBC.
And now we return to My Hometown.
We're back on My Hometown on 90.3 WHBC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, along with Nassau Community College student Joe Ritter. Our special guest today is Dr. Hadassah Guttmann and Julie Mandel. Joe, did you have a question?
Yeah, so you can obviously hear, if you listen close, we talked a little bit about it, is that you can hear the Gershwin and everything, but when you think of those famous composers that are influential and everything, you don't hear much about women composers. So is it difficult to be a woman composer?
Oh, it is. It is. I think I got my first taste of that when I was studying composition with a Viennese man in Los Angeles. And his brother walked in at the end of my lesson, and he introduced me, saying that this is my best student, and she's a woman. And then he added, but she writes like a man. And that was really very irritating, that kind of thing. And then, of course, wanting to write show music, I came to New York, and there was no women writers on Broadway. There was one who wrote lyrics, Dorothy Field, years ago with the Gershwins, I think. But no woman music writer, lyricist. And here I was trying to do both. And it was very difficult. It's a little bit better today. Now and then you do get a woman composer on Broadway, but very rarely.
So you're a pioneer.
I guess so.
I told you we better get autographs. When this is over, we're getting some autographs.
And some cheeseburgers.
And some cheeseburgers. Now, ladies, can you tell us, and maybe Hadassah, that why today in the public schools do you feel music is so important? We hear differences of budget cuts, etc., but why is music important for students?
Oh, boy. Music is important because it enriches the mind, it enriches the soul, it encompasses you. As I said before, your hearing, your sight, your touch, and you're also entering the worlds of other composers, other centuries, and other styles of music that you might not be familiar with. And I always find it so wonderful if I turn on the radio and I hear something from the Renaissance. Suddenly I'm transported to another place. But as I say, it's an art, a discipline, and a science. And I have to say again, I don't know anything more soul enriching than music. Also, it's the best way to raise a child's IQ, because they have to learn how to read, they have to learn math, they have to learn. I have a saying, I say, more violins, less violence.
That's really good, and I never heard that about helping the IQ, but it makes sense. No, the saying, but helping the IQ, and that makes a lot of sense when we think of it, that you have to learn how to read it, to play it. You're putting a lot of skills together.
Right, and they have to learn how to sit at home and practice on their own. And
discipline.
Discipline. That's right. That's exactly right.
And what's also amazing about it, too, is you were talking about when you listen to the Renaissance, it puts you into the Renaissance.
That's right.
If you listen to music, too, and I find this personally, because I'm a big history person, that you can listen to what is going on in human history as you progress through music.
Right.
You can hear in the Renaissance they're trying new things. You can hear, in all the different periods and all the different times, depending on the person, you can hear the change of like almost humanity almost it is. It's kind of cool if you actually sit there and listen to it.
Right. And something else I learned, which I didn't even know, that music is the only discipline that uses every part of the brain. The only one. And
what from other shows we've learned that scientists today actually can monitor the brain. You're not, I'm sure, just talking about this. They put something on our head and they know. I was just reading that when people get off certain foods and smoking and drugs, their brain actually becomes totally different. There are spots there that change from gray to red, and they can be monitored. So that's fantastic information.
Right. And then there's one other thing I wanted to say. I recently read in a very fine article that was entitled, "The Best Thing Your Parents Ever Did for You Was Give You Music Lessons." And it's a long article explaining why. And I could say, I don't want to put down computers or anything like that, but let me just say, if you have an evening that you don't know exactly what to do, you run to the piano or any instrument and you can play. It's so enriching. It's that takes years till you can't just do it right away. But I want to also encourage people who did start and then left it and came back, or would like to start even in an older age. It's never too late to learn.
That's a great point to make, too. We all think at a certain age, and to some people, old may be 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and
that's right.
We know we're living well past 100 these days. So
right. The only thing that's a little different is that if you start when you're 60, say, you can't become a virtuoso. You need to start as a child to do that. But you have a different level of appreciation and enjoyment there.
It's a new subject to talk about, Joe.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
dissertation topic.
There you go.
We're going to need more time on the air to talk about this. We're going to need a little lunch break, too. What do you think, Bill?
Cheeseburgers. You know what I'm always thinking about.
I know.
I'm going to bring you a cheeseburger.
All right. See, this is how I get free cheeseburgers. It works every week.
This is why we do so many My Hometowns.
That's right.
Because we keep getting these cheeseburgers.
Food donations.
So we talked a lot about people who influenced Julie. So I want to ask you, Hadassah, is there any famous pianists that influenced you? Of course, you have the great Chopin and the other guys, but is there anyone else?
Pianist, you're asking?
Yes.
Yes, one of my favorites is Arthur Rubinstein. And I do have a little bit in common with him in that he's from Poland. My parents were from Poland. So when he plays a mazurka or a Chopin ballade or something, I could feel almost that Polish blood. I don't mean to say anything there. There are people who play it gorgeously also, but... and Chopin himself was very proud of his heritage, although he lived a good part of his life in France. But anyway, that's another story.
For a different show.
That's where the cultural. Anyway, Rubinstein. I also like very much Murray Pariah. He's like a poet of the piano, and there are some wonderful people playing today. I don't want to leave out Vladimir Horowitz. He's also wonderful. And
we've actually had some child prodigies on the show. And they, when I asked them, I said, how much do you practice? 3 hours a day. Do you like it? Yeah, they really like it. So it may sound funny, we have the image of the mother or father making the child play the piano or take a music lesson. But these children really liked it, had great pride in what they could do. And it gave them a social position in the world. And we had this little boy who could probably blow him over. He must have been about 50 pounds. I said, why do you really like the piano so much? And he looked at me and goes, you get to meet a lot of girls. And that was his reason. But he obviously he also enjoyed it because he was working 3 hours a day on it. So what benefits can someone gain from playing your piece, Intervals? Is there something special they get out of that?
Well, each piece, I find, is a gem that explores... one second.
They're exploring what are they actually picking up personally that they can get out of it?
It's each piece, either you have to interpret it differently or it's a different technical challenge. And each piece has something else to offer. It's just they're so beautiful. I'm just going to put it. They're different and they're beautiful, and I get immense joy from playing them.
Now, ladies, would like to let our audience know if they'd like to hear more from you or actually get in touch with you about music. How would they contact Hadassah?
They could click on my website. I believe it's Dr. Hadassah Guttmann, or I should say Guttmann, GUTTMANN.com, Dr. Hadassah Guttmann.
And how about Julie?
.com, and here is Julie.
Yeah, my website is juliemandel.com.
Easy enough to remember. Ladies, we want to thank you so much and remind our audience that our guests today have been Dr. Hadassah Guttmann and Julie Mandel. You've been listening to My Hometown on 90.3 WHPC. As always, thanks for listening.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to whpc@ncc.edu. My Hometown is produced by Jim Green, executive producer. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.